Hi, my name's Kris. I'm fourth generation tobacconist and cigar roller, and you're at the historic Frank Correnti Cigars. You gotta really love what you do to be in this business because it's a passion. Like my dad always said, it's a passion. It's a love affair, where it was his words exactly. We've been doing it over a century in my family. Like my grandfather was a cigar baker. I still have his first cigar that he rolled at 14 years old somewhere in this factory. You know, we stand alone in an industry which nobody else stands in anymore. So we're the last of our kind in Canada, right? And when we opened up in 1903, there were about 130 cigar makers just in Toronto. That's not the greater Toronto area. That's not Canada. That's just Toronto. And you can just look at the population of Toronto at that time. It was nothing. It was a township. Yeah. So there's a long history in this very factory. What it actually is it's about three different cigar businesses that merged to become the cigar factory you walk through today. So my great grandfather started making cigars professionally in 1882 in Denmark. His youngest son, who was my grandfather, who came way later, was the only one in the family to take over the cigar industry. And he did that all the way until the Second World War. And in Denmark at that time, everything got shut down. Post World War II, he immigrated to Toronto as a cigar maker and opened up a family cigar factory. It was called Camis, K.A. Miller and Son, which is my family name. He eventually had a cigar roller. His name was Frank Correnti, and he worked for my grandfather for many years. He was an old man, and he learned how to roll cigars like 50 years before that. He was a Sicilian man. During that time, there was another cigar factory in Toronto called the Victor Fernandez factory, which was later changed to the Lopez factory, and they opened up around 1903. So Correnti left us and purchased that firm from the owners who were retiring. After that, Correnti passed away. He passed away around, I think it was around 1971. My grandmother actually purchased the existing firm from his widow in the Correnti family. And we kind of merged the two companies. So everything you see in this factory is from the original Lopez factory, which opened in Toronto in 1903. So like the old molds, the old presses, everything you see here is from the 1903 or '04 Miller Dubrall and Peters catalog, which was a North American cigar supply chain, which made cigar making tools that supplied North America. And all that stuff is still here 100 years later. They actually went out of business during the Depression. Look them up. If you like history and you like North American cigar history, Miller Dubrall and Peters. I grew up in a cigar factory. I mean, times are different now. My kids come into the cigar factory, they play on computers and video games. We didn't have that. I played with a Xerox machine when I got bored. I played with a photocopier, you know. And then eventually my dad got pissed off. He'd be like, stop playing around, go learn how to make cigars. So he would send me to the cigar rollers in the factory at that time. And there was a roller here, Maria Fernandez, and she was always like a mother figure. Her and Lean, we had another roller. They're the ones who taught me how to roll cigars. Not my dad or my grandfather. My grandfather always said you have to age the tobacco a minimum of 5 years to ferment the leaf. So depending on where the seed is in the world, depends on how it evolves to the climate around it. You're getting different flavors from the earth, natural flavors that have been fermenting in the soil for centuries, for eons, for whatever, a millennium, and then you're bringing them together and you're creating natural flavor. It's not learning how to make cigars, which is hard. It's learning how to master holding the leaf, because it tears very easily. You got to kind of learn with both hands, right? Because there's two sides to the leaf. So it's more mastering the leaf before it's like wax on, wax on. Learn how to paint the house and sand the deck.
Right.
Right?
So based on that, what aspects of your process remain the same as they did decades ago?
Nothing's changed.
Everything stayed the same?
Yeah, everything's the same. We don't change, man. It's like a time capsule in here, man. People come in and it's like just time stops. There's nowhere else. It's like you step, like, look at this place. There's nothing plastic. We're like a landmark in the city. It's different, right? It doesn't matter where you go in Canada. You go to PEI or Vancouver Island, you're gonna see the same thing. You're gonna see your Shoppers Drug Marts and your Walmart. It's sometimes numbing to the mind because everything's the same at a constant. So when you come into the inner city cores and you see these old 100-year businesses where you walk in and everything has a story, it captures people. I have a lot of really high-end clients that you know, they like to protect us. They love our factory because it's something old in a city of glass. MLS made custom cigars for Drake, which was cool. So we had it was the Views album, so we had boxes and humidors and labels with his logo on it and stuff. And then I was like, you know what? If I'm custom making cigars for him, I want to drop them off. I swear, man. We got in, we went backstage to drop off cigars. We went into his dressing room area, and the security looks at me. He's like, leave the cigars, get the hell out. So even backstage, there's no way you could approach Drake. But I've also made for a lot of his guys, a lot of his cans and Gretzky.
You made for a week Gretzky?
I did. There's a picture on the wall of me and Gretzky, and he's smoking a cigar, but he puts his hand behind his back like this when we take the picture. As a kid, I remember my dad on King Street under bright light sorting cigars with a cigar in his mouth. And I remember just watching him. And it's like a feeling of family and home, and then the smell of cigars. My brother would be there, my sister, and it's just, I don't know, I just like that feeling. It's kind of like I said, it's where time stops and stuff like that. I wait for those moments. And I realized there's been times when I'd get audited, I'd get inspected, because we're one of the most regulated businesses in Canada. You know, submit all this paperwork. I gotta weigh the tobacco dry, wet. I gotta weigh the stems. I gotta weigh the cigars. I gotta submit it. So I get overwhelmed. I get stressed. I just, I feel like I don't want to do this. And then I would tell my wife, I'm not gonna do this anymore. We're gonna just stop. And then an old man will walk into the cigar factory the next day, and I swear to God, he'll walk in with his cane, and he'll be like, I'll be like, sir, could I help you? And he's like, oh yeah. I just wanted to see this place because I used to come here with my dad when I was a boy. I mean, if that's not a sign to keep going, right? But it's not only that, that's happened to me multiple times. It's a true story. Anyway.
And I just want to say thank you for sharing your story and Correnti Cigars.
No problem.
Thank you very much, Kris.
You're welcome very much.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, no worries. Don't clap.